Make sure audio is connected and working. Okay, thanks guys for tuning in. Tornado warning in Arkansas. This is just latest, I think just a few minutes now this tornado warning has been issued. This is a tornado warning in Arkansas. This includes the town of Amity. I believe this is in the southwest portion of the state. Let me verify that. This is kind of the central to southwest part of Arkansas. This is an active tornado warning currently happening. Let me get some information up here so you guys can keep tracking on 1 second. Get this information up. Again, this is a tornado warning in Arkansas. Let me go and pull up velocity scans here to see what we're looking at. For those who are kind of curious exactly what part of Arkansas, this is just west of Arkadelphia, south of Glenwood, northeast of Murfreesboro. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Pretty decent rotation happening here on the back end of this storm. This is almost a classic supercell with the shape it's taking. Again, this is a tornado warning, active tornado warning, southwest of Amity in southwest Arkansas. We know that we were kind of tracking these storms earlier. We were talking about the potential for a tornado or two in the area. Let's see what radar. Let's see if I can switch radars and kind of get a better look here. I think Fort Smith is kind of giving off a better radar image of this. So let me zoom out for a second here. Let me go up here and click on Fort Smith to see if maybe we can get a little bit better of a velocity scan run here. Again, this is about an hour southwest of Little Rock. This is an active tornado warning in southwest Arkansas. This kind of gives us a better idea of where the rotation is. A pretty tight couplet happening right here, just east of Arkansas State Road 27. Southwest of Amity, you are including this tornado warning. Your sirens are probably going off right now. Please get to shelter. This is north of State Road 26, east of 27. This rotation just crossed Highway 27. But again, a pretty tight couplet happening right here. This is in southwest Arkansas. This is an active tornado warning. Let's go and pull up the box here. Actually, let me switch back over to reflectivity before I do that. I know some people are reporting funnel clouds, which wouldn't shock me too much. Let's go ahead and pull up the information here. This is a radar indicated rotation. No confirmed tornado as of yet. The storm is moving east at 20 miles per hour. The warning box has it kind of going northeast, but I'm sure the storm is probably pushing east and will eventually shift to the northeast. Here's how it looks on the reflectivity radar. Kind of got your little bit of a hook happening back here. Nothing significant. It was a little bit better there on the last scan. Let's go back to velocity, see how the rotation looks. It's still there. You can see the pretty tight area. Kind of a nice couplet there happening on the back end of this storm. The storm was near Murfreesboro just moments ago. It just crossed State Road 27. This is northwest of Delight, southwest of Amity, in southwest Arkansas. So if you live in the path of the storm, please seek shelter as soon as possible. This rotation will be on top of you very soon, especially if you live in Amity. Fortunately, it's not terribly populated. Obviously, there are towns in the path, but for the most part, it's out of any major population. Let me go back to here and see. Radar indicated, obviously, no confirmed tornado yet. I don't see any reports on this storm just yet. Let me see if there's any. I don't see any storm spotters in the area either. We're definitely going to watch this for a couple minutes, at least until the next radar scans, because obviously this is a pretty decent couplet happening right here on radar. Um, Again, if you're just tuning in, this is a active tornado warning in southwest Arkansas. Um, this includes the town of Amity. I'm not sure the population of Amity. Take a look here. Population's a little over 700 in this town, so it is a semi-decent populated area. Beth, yeah, if you swipe like left or right, you can turn off captions. So it looks like the next radar scan maybe has it weakening out a bit. Still an area of concern right here on the back end, right where you would expect the tornado to be, or any type of rotation at all. Right on the back end of that storm, in the lower corner of that tornado warning, you can see kind of the area of tight rotation. Again, this is northwest of Delight and southwest of Amity. If I lived in Amity, I'm assuming there's tornado sirens going off right now. I would hope there are. Just east of State Road 27 and just north of State Road 26 in southwest Arkansas. This is a recent tornado warning that was just dropped. By the National Weather Service. I'm kind of scrolling through to see if I can get any updates, see if anybody has sent in any picture or maybe posted something to Twitter. We do know the Storm Prediction Center has highlighted this area for the potential of a tornado or two. Tornado risk may develop. Here, I'll actually read it word for word. In this area, several supercells exhibiting weak rotation will probably persist with a moist, sheared environment. A tornado risk may develop. That's per the Storm Prediction Center. We're already seeing it now on the screen. Already some pretty decent rotation happening. Still showing some here on the back end, right where you would expect. Some rotation to form. Of course, we want to keep an eye on. There's other storms that are also kind of hinting. There's actually another tornado warning now. So let's go ahead and zoom out. And let's, where did it go? Looks like it hasn't updated yet on here. So we'll give it a second. There's actually multiple tornado warnings. There it is. This one a little bit more serious. This one's got a lot of population. There are 2 active tornado warnings now in Arkansas. Let's switch over to Little Rock radar now so I can get a better idea of what this storm at Arkadelphia kind of looks. So you see this one back here with the rotation, right where we expect it. This one right here, okay? So 2 areas, 2 tornado warnings, 2 rotating thunderstorms, amongst many individual storms that the Storm Prediction Center has highlighted on. Let me get some information changed here. Okay, if you're just tuning in, this is 2 active tornado warnings in Arkansas. This is central to southwest Arkansas. These are new. The one to the east is a newly issued tornado warning that just popped up on our screen. We're also watching the one back to the west. Let me see what this information is saying. Both of these are radar indicated. None of these are confirmed to be tornadoes at the moment. Right there it says source radar indicated rotation. The storm is moving northeast at 20 miles per hour in reference to that eastern tornado warning that we're watching. Looks like this one back here may also be rotating. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one go tornado warned. So you have rotation here, you have rotation here. That one's tightening up back to the west, and then you have rotation here. It's 3 different storms right now in southwest Arkansas that are becoming tornadic supercells. So definitely concerning, especially this one because of the population. I'm referring to this one right here, the rotation pretty much over Gum Springs, Arkansas, moving right into the Arc, and then eventually pushing up into areas like Cato Valley, Friendship, Donaldson. All of you are in this tornado warning right now. This storm back here also may go tornado warned. So we'll watch that one. The Storm Prediction Center did say that the environment now was suitable for a tornado or two in southwest Arkansas. So these storms are now rotating. These storms could become tornado producers, so take every tornado warning serious if you live in the area. Ask any questions that you need answered in the comments, and I will get to them as soon as I can. I'm looking down at my cell phone to make sure there's no confirmed reports coming in. I'm also looking for photos from the area as well. I'm still waiting for that southern storm to be issued as well. I wouldn't be surprised if that storm down here near Okolona, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I would not be surprised if this went tornado warned either. That's some pretty decent rotation on that storm as well. This one actually really starting to pick up, guys. This one over here to the west that includes Amity, that rotation is the best we've seen today. That was the very first tornado warning that came out. So definitely want to be paying attention to all these storms. That one to the west looking impressive now. I don't see any photos or anything being posted just yet, so we'll monitor that. But this one up to here is really impressive on the rotation. Bright blue mixing in with that red. Never a good sign if you're in that tornado warning box. This one down here still a little bit weak, but still rotating. And then this one over here also weak, but rotating. So 3 different areas to pay attention to, all in central to southwest Arkansas. So please take all these warnings serious, of course. Mackenzie asks, heading towards Little Rock. All these storms are moving towards Little Rock. However, they're still about an hour and a half southwest. I don't expect them to stay tornadic for that long. There it is. Okay, so there's the new tornado warning now. So now you're looking at 3 tornado warnings, all of them bordering each other except for these 2. Definitely an incredible turn of events. I was not expecting this. But again, if you're just tuning in, tornado warning number 1, rotation right there. Tornado warning number 2, rotation right here. And tornado warning number 3, right there. All these in central to southwest Arkansas right now. This tornado warning actually is going into 2 other tornado warnings. And I got to make sure that there's no other tornado warnings developing outside of where I'm looking at right now. I don't see any. I'm going to ask and see if any of the staff here at Vortex is on these storms. Because if they are, we can pull some pictures from them. But again, if you're just tuning in, multiple tornado warnings, southwest Arkansas. Let's pull up reflectivity, see how they're kind of looking structure-wise. Yeah, I will check CC as well to make sure there's no drops. No, I don't see any chasers in the area on Spotter Network. I'm sure there's somebody out there, though. Okay, so here's what the reflectivity looks like. This storm looking like the healthiest right now. This storm kind of a mess, and this storm pretty weak as well, but all of them are rotating. So all of them should be taken serious. Let's go ahead and pull correlation coefficient to see if we have any concerning signs from these storms or not. None of them are confirmed yet. All of them are just radar indicated. So I don't see anything sticking out right now. So that's good. Let's go back to velocity. Let's get velocity load here for a second. For those who are wondering what radar I'm using, this is Radar Omega. A very good app to use for tracking severe weather. Okay, so now we're back on velocity. This looks like this storm up here maybe is weakened out pretty well as it nears population. This one down here still showing a little bit of rotation, which is why there's a tornado warning on it. And then this one not as significant as it was, but definitely still rotating. So all three of these still have are still moving, so we want to pay attention to them. You don't want to sleep on them just yet. The more impressive one being this one southwest of Amity, and then this one nearing population as well, Okolona, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. All these are in central to southwest Arkansas. We went live with the first tornado warning, and then two more popped up within 5 minutes. So a very active moment there for southwest Arkansas, and pretty decent velocity scans showing us exactly why these were given the tornado warning, all three of them. Still watching storms back to their southeast as well, just in case they start to rotate and go tornado warned. Let me kind of give you guys the highway here. All right, so this northern storm is east of State Road 27, right there, south of US 70. This central storm is just crossing. Let me see what road this is. It's not marked. It must not be. It's not a major highway. It just looked like one. The central storm is just west of I-30. And then this storm up here is just east of I-30, up near Arkadelphia. So I-30, obviously, only in one tornado warning, but if you're looking left, you can probably see a decent wall cloud, probably. And then this rotation just crossed I-30 moments ago. And then this one up here actually looked like maybe it's a little bit more broad now. And that is south of US 70, south west of Amity in southwest Arkansas. So again, 3 ongoing tornado warnings at the moment. We're still, what you're looking at right now is the velocity scans. This kind of tells us exactly where the stronger rotation is in the supercell thunderstorms that you're looking at. So when you get these bright blues and these reds mixing together, that's a good sign for tornadic rotation. This one's weakened out pretty well, but you still have a little bit of gray mixing in there. Actually, that might be a road, but still that bright blue. And then this one's actually weakened out pretty well. They'll probably drop this tornado warning pretty soon if I were a betting man. But still, nonetheless, it's a tornado warning, so you need to be in your safe spots, especially if you live in populated areas. Watch for flying debris in case a tornado does touch down. All these are still radar indicated. There is no confirmed tornado on the ground in any of these storms, but all of them are rotating. So you want to take every tornado warning serious, of course, and be in your safe locations. Let me catch back up to comments real quick. So I'm not missing any important questions that you guys might be asking. Check CC. Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm caught up on everything. Let's see what the latest radar scan just did here. So it looks like this one's weakening out pretty well now. Still rotation there. You can indicate by the red and the blue, but pretty big gap between them, which indicates kind of more of a broad rotation. This one, still with a bright blue, but I don't see it mixing with any reds. And this one looks like it's pretty much dying off as well. So let's pull up reflectivity to see kind of if these storms are maybe weakening a bit. It's very possible that these storms are weakening out, and it kind of looks like they are. This one really is not a big storm up here. This one's just kind of it's not a lot of like your textbook supercell structure, still rotating though. And then this one, still the more impressive storm, kind of with that hook there at the end. But all of them seem to kind of die off on the last couple of scans, which is good. Let's go back to velocity real quick. Yeah, so yeah. Let's pull up integrated liquid just so I can see if there's any hail in these storms as well. I didn't check that. So this storm, southwest of Amity, might be producing some probably quarter-size hail. This one down here, probably a little baby pea-size hail, and then this one is just doing its own thing. So you can kind of tell just based off of like the hail, which storms are still producing, semi-decent updrafts and still decently, strong. Looks like east to west you go, the weaker the storms, or the stronger the storms get in this case. Someone asked me what tilt I was on. I'm on tilt 1 on the velocity scan. I'm on super res velocity tilt number 1. I think my radar scope's also on tilt 1 too. So we'll wait for another radar scan here to see what it does. I have a feeling this tornado warning will probably be dropped here soon. This one's still, it's broad, but it's still rotating. You see the blue, you see the red. It's still moving around in there. You're still getting some clouds, rotating. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to produce a tornado. So this one may be trying to do it again. This one too. Maybe even came back a little bit. So we're still going to monitor these for a couple more minutes. This red and blue kind of got a little bit closer together, so we're going to pay attention to that. All three still have tornado warnings. All three should be taken serious, of course, if you're in the path of these storms. I know a lot of people are like, hey, what's going on with Little Rock? I personally don't see these storms making it that far under, with tornadic circulation. Let me actually check. Let me check the Storm Prediction Center website. I know they put out some information. And I know they did extend that severe or they added a new severe thunderstorm warning, I think, or they extended it or something like that. They did. They extended the severe thunderstorm warning to include this area, but it does not include Little Rock. I do not expect these storms to the severe threat as they move into those bigger cities in the capital city of Little Rock. But there is a mesoscale discussion out. And it says as follows: several supercells are exhibiting weak rotation and will probably persist with the moist, sheared environment. A tornado risk may develop, which we already are tracking. 3 tornado warnings. So they knew that this was going to happen, so they put out that discussion so that their meteorologists can monitor it. Right now, we're just going to wait and see what the next couple scans do. So, So right here, it looks like another tight couplet happening on the storm up here. So it seemed like it was dying off there for a second, has kind of got its act together. I see a blue and maybe a red mixing in here. In this storm, still kind of on the weaker end, but looks like these two storms here kind of got their act back together just a little bit and are recycling and maybe producing some stronger rotation than the previous couple scans. Again, this is in this is in Southwest Arkansas. Sorry, Southwest Arkansas. There are other storms that are rotating as well in southern Arkansas, kind of west of Hampton, Arkansas. So if they go tornado warned, we'll monitor that as well. But for now, these are only 3 tornado warnings on the board. Kansas, yeah, I see that now. So multiple storms are kind of rotating. These are being the strongest ones, which is why they have the tornado warnings. But multiple storms are kind of spinning a little bit. No confirmed reports of any tornadoes, of course. We would be announcing that. It looks like they did extend this tornado warning up here. Yep, they did. So there's technically now 4 tornado warnings out. This tornado warning here is an extension of the one that was already in place. So 4 tornado warnings right now in Southwest Arkansas, all within about 50 miles of each other. Pretty incredible for being a day that wasn't really expected to be much of a tornado producer at first. And it's one of those, freak things that it happens every now and then. But again, it's a pretty tight couplet happening on this storm right here, southwest of Amity. You can kind of see where the red and blue is really getting together right there. That's why that tornado warning box was extended to now include US 70, due southwest of Hot Springs, Arkansas. These 2 tornado warnings are still ongoing and have not been extended just yet. We'll wait to see what the National Weather Service thinks about that. Let me check comments here. Yeah, Melinda says, gotta love Arkansas weather. Yeah, definitely a turn of events. We were not expecting this today. Luckily, I was paying attention to the radar. I had a feeling that there was something going on, so I turned on my radar app and noticed there was a tornado warning out. We tuned in just in time. So could this survive for Hot Springs? I'd say it has the potential, especially considering how far out they put this tornado warning box. Hot Springs is in that severe thunderstorm watch. So, always got to, pay attention to that. Because obviously, even though it's just a severe thunderstorm watch, tornadoes can produce out of those, out of that watch box. So, it's a possibility. We'll see how these storms go through the next, few scans, if they weaken or continue. All right, so here's what velocity looks like on these 4 tornado warnings. This one is still looking the most impressive, like a baby hook here, not anything significant on hook wise. This one back here, if it were like a more powerful storm, actually has the more impressive signature on it. However, it's not quite showing that when we pull the velocity scans. We're still monitoring storms back to the south as well. I'm watching my radar app on my phone. That storm down the south maybe weakened a little bit over the last couple scans. We're still monitoring, but right now the main concern are these 3 supercells in southwest Arkansas, one near Amity rotating, one near Okolona, and one northeast now of the arc, all in central to southwest Arkansas. Let's go back to velocity, see what they're doing. Maybe. Okay. Let's zoom in a little bit here so we can get closer up on the rotation. So again, really tight couplet right here, southwest of Amity. That is the more concerning storm of all the storms we've seen today. That is really tight. Let's go and pull CC just for fun here and see if there's any type of drop in the CC. Correlation coefficient, guys, is it's like it's a tool that measures kind of random items that are getting in the way of the radar. So like your debris, dust, even there's even been birds that have been included. And it would pop up as like a little blue ball if there were something being destroyed. We're not seeing that in any of these storms. So right now we're just going to stick with a very tight rotation, especially on these on this western storm. Definitely the more impressive storm of the day. Fortunately, not over any significant population, which is good. I usually use tilt 1. I usually stick with tilt 1. Depends also like location as well. But usually I just stick with tilt 1. Let me check and see if there's maybe any photos that have been uploaded to Twitter that kind of give me a better idea on these storms. Right now, it's just multiple people posting about the 4 tornado warnings that you're looking at. I don't see any. I don't see any photos that anybody's posting about of any like wall clouds or funnels of any kind. If you guys see something on Twitter, let me know so I can look at it. Definitely the more concerning storm right now is this really tight, and it's still there on that next run, that really tight couplet right there. If any storm is going to produce a tornado, it's going to be this one to the west. Trying to get my screen to be in the area where all 3 warnings are shown. Again, this is now almost due south of Amity. And it's moving in one of these directions. That's a terrible line, but you get the idea. It's a northeast movement. About to cross whatever road this is. It's not labeled on Radar Omega, but whatever road this is about to cross. Actually, probably is crossing right now. These radars are usually just a little bit behind. But it's definitely due south of Amity right now. That's definitely the more impressive rotation we've seen today. When you're looking at this type of rotation, the first thought would be a tornado. Hopefully that's not occurring. That's definitely some good rotation. We are pretty decent away from radar as well using tilt 1. So we could be seeing scans from a little bit higher off the ground. So that's why they're a little bit tighter. Nevertheless, it is enough to issue that tornado warning, and the National Weather Service has done that. Waiting for another update here to see kind of what it's doing. See what it's going to show on the next run. I don't think any chasers are out there. Nobody's reporting anything on Spotter Network, and I don't see any dots. There are a couple dots on that storm near the arc, but nobody on this storm that's kind of doing the best rotation wise south of Amity. Be curious to see what the radar does here, how it looks. If it still continues, that'd be the 3rd radar scan in a row that we're showing that really tight couplet on this storm. So I'm really curious to see what it shows on this next scan. Okay, there it goes. Still there. So that's 3 scans in a row now, I think, of a pretty decent couplet on that storm due south of Amity. This storm over here to the east, they dropped that 1 tornado warning now, so there's only 3 tornado warnings. The storm back over here to the east, I can't really tell what it's doing. Probably something right in here, which is continuing that tornado warning. This is southeast of Cato Valley, due south of Friendship. And then this storm back here, northeast of Okolona, not the more impressive couple that we've seen from it today. Actually, none at all. Rotation wise, not the best we've seen from the storm today. But this one definitely up here, showing some concern on velocity scan. We'll continue to monitor that. Let's see if there's any updates here in the still radar indicated, obviously. There's quarter size hail being reported in our radar indicated quarter size hail. We showed that earlier. So these are some of the towns that they have included in this tornado warning. So if you live in any one of these towns down here at the bottom left of this tornado warning text, you should be in your tornado safe spot, especially with the rotation that we're seeing on radar currently. Okay. So it scanned again. It's showing like a bright red. That's still tight rotation. Radar sometimes does that. So still some tight rotation right there south of Amity. This storm, I can't really tell if maybe it's trying to do something again. You're starting to see a little bit of reds pop up there. This storm, I think, is still struggling. The energy is probably getting taken away from these two storms that are overproducing for this day. So, again, if you're just tuning in, multiple tornado warnings in southwest Arkansas. This is a recent development. The town of, actually, I need to change that now because the town is not involved anymore. What other towns is this? Okay, so let's, just for fun, let's take a look at the hail that is being talked about in these storms. So you get your hail. This storm appears weakened a little bit with the hail, which could indicate maybe a weakening thunderstorm as well. And then these two storms still producing some probably pea-sized hail. You might get a random quarter-size hailstone in there somewhere, but not significant hail. That storm that was up there near Amity was producing, it looked like a little bit more impressive hail moments ago. Not really seeing that much anymore, which is a good sign. Back to radar. So we're just kind of waiting to see the trends here of the radar scans to see if it's still kind of impressive, or if it's kind of weakening out a bit. It looks like maybe the next scan has it kind of dying off a little bit. What time is this for? This is for 4:01. So this is 3 minutes ago still. Something going on maybe here. Of course, still a tight area of rotation there. And then this one, I'm not really sure if this is really doing anything right now. They still have a tornado warning, so obviously still take it serious. Just gonna wait for another radar scan as soon as we get it. Kind of give us a better idea how these storms are doing. Let me see. Hold on. Heather asked, what about Cecil, Arkansas? Cecil, Arkansas is a couple hours north of where these storms are actively rotating. So you are not in any concern of these storms, at least. I'm not sure what's happening up there, but I know there's no tornadic storms expected in that area today. Probably lots of rain, I'd imagine. Okay. So the next radar scan here, as you can tell, it's significantly died off on the rotation. Um, you don't have that bright red and blue mixing together anymore. This one down here, it's sloppy as well, and so is this one. So all three storms for now have kind of done a weakening process. We'll see if they decide to kind of maybe recycle and start producing some tightening rotation again. But for now, they have weakened out pretty well, which is a good sign, especially if you live in the path of these storms. I'm going to go ahead and scroll through Twitter and see if anybody has posted anything. I don't see anything yet from any like meteorologist or anything. Like no pictures of the storm at all, which is pretty crazy. Because usually you would see like somebody sending a photo or something. We haven't quite seen that yet. So we're still monitoring that storm, of course, south of Amity. We're monitoring the storm here on the southern end of all these, and then of course the one northeast of Arc now. So all of them have shown a pretty significant weakening in rotation over the last few scans. Actually, just the last scan. So that's a good sign. If you're in the path of these storms, you don't want this tightening rotation. And there are a lot of people in the path of all three of these tornado warnings. So right now we're just kind of waiting to see if something happens on the next couple of scans. There was a report of a funnel cloud on this storm. It looks like it's actually again has recycled now and is producing more rotation. That storm now southeast of Amity. So that's kind of what I was talking about here a minute ago. I was waiting to see if the storm up here would maybe do a recycle process, and it did, or it looks like it's trying to at least. This one down here is very broad, so it's not concerning me just yet. It's also no population, which is great. And this one up here has kind of been sloppy for the last few scans. Nonetheless, tornado warnings are out, so please take it seriously. Get to your safe spots. This storm over here, definitely the more concerning rotation supercell at the moment. Southeast of Amity, it has a history of producing a funnel cloud. I saw a report of that on Twitter. Someone also commented and said they saw a funnel cloud. So obviously, if the storm is producing funnel clouds, it means it's strong enough to produce a tornado. Well, it could be strong enough. I guess I shouldn't say that, but definitely good. So looks like it might be trying to do like a recycle process here just outside of Amity. Amity, you're actually no longer in that tornado warning. So that's a really good sign. They have allowed you to come out of your tornado safe locations. They do not feel like the rotation will impact you in any way. Definitely probably a scary 15-20 minutes there for the town, but fortunately you guys look a-okay. All right, so radar scan, look at okay, there it goes. It's like, what? Still some kind of sloppy rotation, a little bit broad. Might have some recycling process happening here. This one up here near Friendship, also sloppy, but this one still being the more impressive rotating thunderstorm we've seen today. Southeast of Amity, southwest Arkansas. This is west of the Arc, and these storms have really gotten going here over the last hour. We've been live streaming for about 45 minutes now, and these storms kind of went up really suddenly. We weren't really expecting. It's kind of a weird situation, but they went up. First tornado warning, and the next thing you know, we had 4 tornado warnings in about 15 minutes. So these storms went up quick, and the National Weather Service was on top of it very fast, and they had the warnings out at an appropriate amount of time so that people could get to their safe spots. So still monitoring a couple of we're still monitoring 3 tornado warnings to begin with. The more impressive rotation being the one south of Amity, and then another one pretty broad, weak rotation west of 53, west of State Road 53, southwest of the Arc, and then northeast of Okolona. And the Okolona, the Arc, and the 3 towns we were talking about there for a while are no longer in that tornado warning or any tornado warning. So good sign for population to not be in that area. Still scrolling through, seeing if there's anywhere. Nope. So nobody's really posted anything photos wise. Probably because these storms really weren't expected to be, this strong. So kind of caught everybody by surprise. So we'll just kind of wait for. Yeah, I see that now. All right. So, geez. Okay. So we're back to 4 tornado warnings now. Wow, just a unique situation here. Okay, let's break it down here. So 4 tornado warnings out again. This storm right here just went tornado warned again. They have now kind of pushed it a little bit northeast. It now includes Gum Springs, Arkadelphia again. This is the second tornado warning for both of these towns. Cato Valley, you're under actually 2 tornado warnings at the same time. Incredible. Cato Valley, you're under 2 tornado warnings at the same time. And this storm is kind of following the path of this first tornado warning storm. So very unique situation happening in southwest Arkansas. So another 4. Now we have 4 tornado warnings again, 4 polygons. And thank you, Justin, for pointing that out. So 4 tornado warnings again, and they now include the cities of Arkadelphia again, Cato Valley under 2 tornado warnings, and the more impressive rotation right now being the storm near Amity. Let's see. These storms, I know a couple of funnel clouds. The one near Arc earlier had a funnel cloud, I think. I saw a report somewhere, and the one near funnel. Getting some information typed here. And I will go back through all the rotation here in a second. How do I spell that? Arkadelphia. Such a weird name. All right, so let's go back into radar real quick and discuss the now 4 polygons, 4 different tornadoes, 4 different tornado warnings, excuse me, for southwest Arkansas. The radar kind of did a little glitch again, but this is a tight rotation still happening southeast of Amity. We have, looks like now, a couplet forming on this storm right there. There's a new tornado warning up here. We have 5 tornado warnings. 5 tornado warnings happening right now in Arkansas. Wow. So this went from 1 tornado warning down here near Murfreesboro, and now it's 5 tornado warnings across the same region. So we have 1. Oh, and they got rid of a couple. Okay, I spoke too soon. So now we're back down to 3. Okay, so 3 tornado warnings. 1 tornado warning for being for this tight rotation, 1 for being this tight rotation, and another probably for this rotation right here. Okay. This includes this tornado right up here doesn't have any population in the past. Well, it probably has population, but nothing significant that's popping up on the radar. This tornado warning includes multiple areas: Gum Springs, the Ark, and Cato Valley, and this Friendship, Midway, and Donaldson. All of these central Arkansas. Okay, or moving into Arkansas. These storms are actually lasting a lot longer than I expected anyways. We're still in that severe thunderstorm watch, so these storms could continue for a little bit. This one being the more impressive rotation here. You got the blue and the reds mixing together. Right here where that blue and red's trying to mix together is why that tornado warning got extended. And then probably this right here near Friendship. So we'll continue to watch that for a second. Let me hop back over to the chat here and make sure I'm not missing any questions. Yeah, Justin says respect the polygon for sure. Yeah, you guys, if you're in the tornado warning box in the polygon, get to your safe place. I'm sure your phones are going off. I'm sure that's happening. Tornado sirens. You absolutely need to be in your tornado safe locations right now if you're in the path of these tornado warnings in Arkansas. 3 of them right now. Let me pull up. Let's see if we have any hail in these storms at all. So not a lot of hail going on. This was the biggest hail producer there from Momo. This is actually a late run. This is about 10 minutes late now. So there might be more hail now in these storms. But this radar is a little bit slow at updating. Integrated liquid kind of takes a little bit longer than others because this is about 12 minutes behind now. So we'll come back to that here in a second. Checking social media. I still don't see any like photos of the storm at all. I see all like radar posts coming in. I don't see anything alarming just yet. Let me pull up Twitter because there's a photo that maybe be something. Again, we do have still multiple tornado warnings across southwest Arkansas. This has been going on for roughly an hour now. At one point, we had 5 tornado warnings. It was just an extension of the others. But currently, 3 tornado warnings out. Let me find this person on Twitter. And I will pull up this photo that she posted and show you guys. Okay, I'm going to take you off of radar momentarily. Let's switch you over to Twitter real quick. This is a picture by Ashley_Godwin on Twitter showing what looks to be a lowering. This was 3 minutes ago, looking southeast from Cato Valley. So this was probably taking, this is probably that northeast tornado warning storm. And this was probably taken longer than 3 minutes ago, obviously, because that storm's no longer southeast of Cato Valley. It's northeast. So probably about 20 minutes ago, I would guess, this photo was taken. You can see what looks to be a lowering. Can't tell if it's really like a scud, but it's got a pretty good funnel shape. So definitely could have been a funnel cloud there. Again, this was the storm that was near Cato Valley, northeast, or I'm sorry, this would have been, just outside of Arkadelphia. in southeast of Cato, so near State Road 51. In that area, the storm was being taken. This picture was taken. So, I mean, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Probably a funnel cloud pick there. Let's go ahead and switch it back 1 second to the velocity scans, because we still have some pretty tight rotation happening up here near Amity with the latest radar scan. So again, this storm's been the most impressive one all day, right there. Pretty tight rotation on velocity. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. I also want to make sure I'm not missing any other. Okay, so there's another tornado warning north of Hampton. So let's go to that real quick too. Let's zoom out. Let's jump down here to Hampton. Let my Radar Omega app load. So here is the tornado warning. It just popped up on Radar Omega anyways. So give you guys a big picture here. This is what's happening. You have 1 tornado warning, 2, 3, and 4 tornado warnings. This one more in southern Arkansas. These over here in southwest to central Arkansas. This one looks like maybe a little bit. Let me just zoom in on it here. Let's zoom in on this Hampton tornado warning here. Here would be the concern, the bright blue. But nothing really significant rotation-wise. This is northwest of Hampton, Arkansas. This does include, I don't think Bearden's in it. I think it's just a little bit outside Thornton and Fortis. This is all, and I-79, Interstate 79, between certain mile markers, also included in this tornado warning. It doesn't mention the mile markers for I-79, but I'm sorry, that's not I-79. Jeez, that's US 79. My fault. US 79 between about Bearden and Fortis are included. US 167 also in the path of this rotation. Right here is where the rotation would be. Again, this is northwest of Hampton, Arkansas. Looks like maybe rotation happening back here near Gurdon, Arkansas, as you can see right here. Oops. You got the idea. Right here, rotation near Gurdon. And then you have really decent rotation near Amity, southeast of Amity, west of Gum Springs, and then near Friendship. Okay, so we're watching all of that. Let me put it about right here so we can get all 4 in the picture. And let me go to Twitter. See if anybody has mentioned anything. If there's any storm reports. Just seeing some pictures that were posted to Twitter, you can actually kind of see how low the clouds are. Definitely low LCLs today, so it makes it a lot easier for brief spin ups and tornadoes when the clouds are this low. However, we haven't seen that yet. I'm wondering if maybe like surface winds are a little bit weak, which isn't allowing any spin ups, any tornadoes from these storms, because this storm, especially up near Amity, has looked like a tornado producer for about 10 scans now for a while. We do not have a report of any type of confirmation of a tornado yet. So, but I'm not seeing any photo. Mostly it's just radar pictures being posted to Twitter, which is what we're looking at right now. Still eyeballing this one near Gurdon. Here's your tornado warning down near Hampton, which is kind of weakened down the rotation a bit. Still impressive rotation up here. Let's go back to these storms real quick. This one's still showing some pretty decent rotation west of Gum Springs. Here's some near Friendship, Arkansas, and then this one near Amity, Arkansas. All three of these storms actually starting to improve just a little on the rotation scale. So let me go back here to make sure I'm not missing anything. Of course, if you're in the path of these storms, please be in your safe place. There are 4 tornado warnings across southern, southwest, and central Arkansas. Looks like this storm. Maybe this storm actually might be improving too. I wouldn't be surprised to get a tornado warning here. This includes the town of Gurdon. You got rotation basically right on top of you right now. So I would not be shocked to see 5 tornado warnings here momentarily if they decide to warn this storm here near Gurdon. So we're going to keep an eye on that for a second. They did extend this tornado warning. So technically there's 5 tornado warnings out right now. But this is just an extension of this original tornado warning. Far out is because it looks like they're anticipating the storm to actually shift directions. So they have to adjust the tornado box, obviously. So originally had it kind of going a little bit more north, and it seems to be making that northeast continuing turn. So they had to adjust the tornado warning box just a little. But technically 5 tornado warnings now across Arkansas. Not expected. Seems like on latest scans, maybe the storm down here is kind of weakening out a bit. Definitely still the more impressive storm of the day has been this storm right here. We went online. We went live. This storm has been producing rotation. It has weakened just a tad there. It has been the more impressive storm of the day since we've got online anyway, since we went live. Scan through social media to make sure nobody's reporting anything. Let's so definitely some low clouds. There is a post now on our page you guys can take a look at of the very low cloud levels of these storms, which is probably a big reason why all these are tornado warned too. It's a lot easier for tornadoes to kind of spin up. But I'm shocked that we haven't had any tornado reports so far. We did have a pretty good picture of it looked like a funnel there for a minute. But we have not had we haven't had okay. All right, so now we have just so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tornado warnings now in Arkansas. That Gordon storm that we were talking about did finally go tornado warned as expected. So you have obviously 1 tornado warning here that is the original, and then you have the extension. Then you have the storm here near Midway, storm here near Gurdon, and then the storm near Hamilton. Or Hampton, sorry. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tornado warnings currently in effect across central to southern Arkansas. Hot Springs, I know somebody was mentioning something about Hot Springs. Here's Hot Springs. They dropped that tornado warning now, so we're down to 5 tornado warnings. Here's Hot Springs, that tornado warning nearing you. It's a pretty active day across Arkansas. Definitely, we're not expecting that. or was not expecting that. So it's very, very interesting to see. Okay, I don't see any photos of any updates. So I think for now, okay, so for now we're current. But again, just kind of give you guys an overlook. Let's go ahead and pull up reflectivity to kind of see how these storms are looking on the regular radar. Okay, so that's how reflectivity looks. Looks like the storm may have a little bit of a hook happening now as it approaches the arc. The storm, maybe something going on here. I can't really tell. This storm right here near the arc actually pretty impressive. Looks like a hook going on there at the end. This one might be too. Pull velocity again. Let's just we're going to kind of make our way down the line of tornado warnings here, so that every storm gets talked about. Go ahead and start with this storm up here, getting close to the Beaton area, Fenley, kind of in that region. Point Cedar, right here is your rotation. So Beaton, you're directly in the path of that rotation. Lambert, you're probably cutting it close to Bismarck. All of these areas pretty much sitting right in the path of that rotation on that tornado warning. So you should be in your safe location. Let's go down south a little bit. Let's talk about the Midway storm. I don't see any area of major concern right now. Midway, you should be in your safe place. Saginaw, Central, all those towns in Arkansas. Let's go to this one. Just southeast of Hollywood, Arkansas. Probably the greatest area is about right here, but nothing terribly worrisome happening. But that includes Cato Valley, the Arc, and Gray. Should be in your safe spots. This storm we were talking about there for a minute was the storm we were waiting for it to go tornado warned. The nice bright blue, but it's not really mixing with much. But near US 67, near the town of Smithton, Gravel Junction, and Griffithtown, you're all in the path of that as well, and maybe Curtis too. So I'm naming off towns you're in the path of, or you're in. You should be in your tornado safe location. And then this storm down here northwest of Hampton, running just due west of US 167. It doesn't have a terribly strong rotation on it now. It could recycle though. That's due south of Thornton. Thornton, you would be in the direct path of that, so you should be in your safe spots. Now zoom out and get a total idea of what's happening here in Arkansas. Lots of stuff. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tornado warnings. I'm going to zoom out on my phone to make sure I'm not missing any other tornado warnings in Arkansas. It doesn't look like I am. So lots of tornado warnings running down like a line almost, except for that one that's kind of stick out in front there. But a line of tornado warnings in central Arkansas. To kind of give you an idea of where this is, here's Little Rock, capital city. Here's Hot Springs, Benton, Pine Bluff. These are all pretty much southwest of you. I know we had people asking if they're going to make it that far. At first, I was saying no. I'm still going to kind of stick with that. I don't know if they'll make it all the way to Little Rock or not, but it's very possible. So we'll kind of keep an eye on all of those. I'm just kind of waiting for the time where they just they die off. But it doesn't seem to be happening. We've been on the air now for about an hour and 10 minutes. These tornado warnings have been going up for about an hour 15. But definitely a nice little small cluster of tornado warnings, almost like a tornado warning outbreak, just without the tornado, which is good, obviously. If all these were producing tornadoes, it'd be a pretty wild day for Arkansas. But we don't have any reports of a tornado yet in any of these storms that we've been monitoring all day, which is excellent news. But we're just waiting to see what the next radar shows. The live stream will be ending here shortly, as I have some things to do. But I wanted to touch base anyways, guys, and kind of show you what was going on. If you live anywhere from, let me just highlight it. Say probably anywhere right through here, you need to be kind of paying attention to the weather throughout the remainder of the afternoon, because there could be, a random tornado warning. Could be, anything could happen. Not only that, you have to worry about damaging wind threat as well with these storms. I'm gonna wait for one more update here before calling it. But again, 5 tornado warnings in Arkansas. It started out with just one. Earlier in the broadcast, when we went live, there was 1 tornado warning, and then all of a sudden there was many tornado warnings. And you're seeing 5 right now. I think at the most we had 6 at one point. At one point, we had towns that were under multiple tornado warnings at the same time. And the Cato Valley had 2 tornado warnings at the same time, which was quite interesting. It's been a while since I've seen something like that before. But okay, we're going to log out for now, guys. Again, if you live in the area, please continue monitoring. Check back with Vortex Chasing. At the top right, you can see our social media handle at Vortex Chasing. So make sure you guys give us a follow on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Vortex Chasing to continue with severe weather coverage of the area and any photos that our staff might see and post on the page. But until next time, guys, be safe and respect the polygon. Have a good one.